morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Danny Martin, and I'm the College Director of the University of Essex International College. And it's a pleasure to be able to join you this morning to talk to you a little bit more about the International College and the University of Essex. I'm going to be joined by Adam Stewart today, who'll just briefly introduce himself. Adam.
Hey everyone, my name's Adam Stewart. I'm the Senior Academic Manager at the International College, and a bit later on I'll just give you a bit more information about our teaching approach and curriculum.
So to start, I'd like to give you an update on our first cohort, and I'd also like to say a very big thank you to all of you for your contribution towards the successful first intake of students at the University of Essex International College. What's been so amazing about this first cohort is just the sheer diversity of students from all around the world. So we actually have 54% of our students are from the rest of the world area, and 46 from China. So I think that's a really, really great mix of students, and you've been integral to this, so thank you. Of the 130 students that we currently have, we have 30 different nationalities, which is also just a fantastic mix as well. From the students, in terms of the main groups of students, where people are coming from, as I've mentioned, 46 are from China. We've got another 23% from the East Asia region. Another 14% from the Middle East, North Africa region, another 6% from CIS, and then we've got 3-4% from the rest of each of the rest of the areas listed. So again, a great big thank you to all of you. We have students studying across all of our programs. And we have students actually accessing almost every single department within the university that we have progression routes into. So there's a real widespread of students. We have 37% of our students are studying foundation certificates, and our most popular program has proven to be the International Year 1 program, where we have 43% of students studying. And then the remainder of students are studying on the pre-masters. So we have a really good mix across nationalities, across programs, and we're very, very happy with our first intake. So next, I'd like to just hand over to Adam very quickly, so he can tell you a little bit more about our teaching approach and our curriculum.
Okay, so teaching approach first of all. So all of our classrooms in the college are set up as active learning spaces, a little like the one you can see in the picture. So these involve small tables or pods that typically have 5 students sitting around, and each pod has a screen. So the teachers can share different materials with different screens, and these students can also connect their own devices to the screens so they can work collaboratively in groups. So having the spaces set up like this allows a greater focus on teamwork and collaboration, which means that the lessons can really focus on tasks that require students to use the skills they're learning in practical tasks. So our curriculum is blended, and it involves online activities that students can access to prepare in advance for classes, and also that they can complete afterwards to consolidate what they've learned. And this setup also allows a focus in the class on small group activities. And we think this type of interaction is really important for employability skills. And we want to help our students get ready for a world where they'll regularly be engaging and working with colleagues from different countries and different cultures. So moving on to our curriculum, we have 2-term, 3-term and 4-term courses. The longer courses, so 3- and 4-term courses, typically give students an opportunity to develop their language skills before they move on to the more academic part of their program. It also gives them a chance to develop other academic skills such as mathematics or statistics. So we have 3 levels of course. So we have a foundation certificate, which allows students to progress to the first year of undergraduate degrees, International Year 1, which allows them to progress to the second year of undergraduate degrees, and pre-master's courses, which prepare students for master's degrees. So across all of our courses, students will study language modules, which develops their academic language skills and also prepares them for our English language exit exam. There are project modules, which develop students' academic skills and also give them a chance to complete a research project, including choosing and developing a question, carrying out research, and then presenting the results of that research. So on foundation and pre-master's courses, there are also a series of electives, which allow students to tailor their courses to their progression route. Whereas on the IYO modules, there are a series of core modules which make sure that the content students are studying is aligned with the first year of an undergraduate degree at Essex, so that when they progress to their chosen degree, they've covered the same material that students doing the first year at Essex would have covered. So I'm just going to hand back to Danny now.
Okay, so just to remind you, so we offer 8 separate routes into the university, 3 routes at foundation certificate level, progressing into humanities, science and health, or social sciences faculties, and then also the same for pre-masters. And then, as Adam mentioned already, our International Year 1 programme, which allows progression into business degrees, and our other International Year 1 programme, which provides progression into economics degrees. We are also going to be launching a pre-sessional English for direct entry students in the summer of 2019, and further information will follow to you in the coming weeks once we've finalised all of the details of that. Next, I'd just like to share with you, so you can see the building where the students will be studying. So the University of Essex International College is hosted in the Constable building, which is on the north of the University of Essex campus. The Constable building is actually very famous because it was in a painting by a famous landscape artist by the name of John Constable in the 19th century. And our college is located in the coach house of the Wivenhoe House building, which features in that very famous painting. So there's, it's really steeped in history, and it's such a beautiful building to study in, such a beautiful environment for students. The university have put a lot of time, effort and investment into renovating and improving the building so that it's a great place to study. So here you can see inside, obviously not like the outside, it's very modern and very open. And this is our welcome area where students often hang out, socialise with friends, and it's often quite the hive of activity. On the right-hand side is our college services hub, and this is where students would go for any non-academic support that they may need throughout their time with us. Next, I'd just like to give you an idea of what one of our classrooms looks like. So Adam's already mentioned the pods that we use to promote collaborative work with the students. One of the great things about all of our classrooms in terms of features is that they all have natural light. So even rooms that are on the inside of the building, like this one, have natural light wells on the ceiling. So you can see the small round lights on the ceiling. They're not actually lights. That's the natural light from outside. So obviously natural light is really important for health and well-being. And, factoring in that our students could be spending 4 or 5, even 6 hours a day in classes, we want to make sure that, they have a very good opportunity to get as much daylight as possible, even if they're inside the building. Next, I'd like to talk to you a little about investment. So the University of Essex ranks highly in terms of the amount of investment that they're putting into the campus, the learning facilities, the social facilities. And I'd like to just share with you a couple of the recently completed projects on campus. So earlier this year, the university opened the sports hall, which is over a £12 million investment. And it's the home to a ladies' professional basketball team, the Essex Blades, and it's open for all students to use. And it really provides students the year-round access to world-class sporting facilities. Here you can actually see it set up for a basketball game but there's a lot of facilities here for students to use, and it's proving to be very popular with our current students and those students at the university. Next, the university has recently opened the STEM building, which was about a £13 million investment. And within the STEM building, there's a number of areas that have really been put in place to enhance the students' learning experience and obviously learning outcomes. So one such area is there's a 180-seat wet lab, which can run many different practicals at one time, and it's got state-of-the-art equipment everywhere for students to use. So it's a very exciting new addition to the university campus. And we also, within that building, have a 150-seat IT exploratory learning space. So it really opens up some of the activities that different programs can run for the students. The university is also completing what's called the Innovation Centre. And the Innovation Centre is just on the edge of campus. And the main purpose of the Innovation Centre is to promote entrepreneurial activity amongst the students. And it will be host to around about 50 student startups when it's fully operational. And we hope that some of our students will be able to go on and start up a business and go into bigger and greater things as a result of access to this great facility. So why Essex? So really now I'd like to just talk you through a few of the key areas that we feel make Essex such a great place to study. So number one, Essex is in a top 30 university on the Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide. Now, the university set themselves a task a few years ago to become consistently a top 25 university, and the goal for them to achieve that is by next year. They're always pushing to develop in every single way, and we firmly believe that they will be moving from a top 30 to a top 25 again by next year. Another great thing about Essex is that they currently have a TEF Gold Award. So this basically means that they consistently deliver outstanding teaching, learning, and outcomes for students. So every single aspect of the student experience in terms of academics is considered to be at a top level. So if students want to have a great learning experience, Essex is a great choice for them. Also, in terms of some of the Times Higher Education rankings, so Essex is in the top 20 universities in the world for International Outlook. Last year, they had 146 different nationalities. It really is an incredible, diverse, multicultural student body, and something that we're really excited to be a part of. Also, Essex is a top 25 university in the UK for overall student satisfaction on the most recent National Student Survey. So students are very happy about their experiences and they're willing to tell people about it. And if any of you get the chance to come and visit Essex in the future, which we hope you do, it will be great for you to meet some of these really excited, positive, engaged students that we have on campus. Next, so these are some of the things that from my time at the International College, and also from speaking with some of the students at the college and at the university, some of the things that we think really make Essex great. Because obviously rankings are very important, experience is very important, but it's also about what the people on the ground feel, what the people on the ground see, what they do. And here I'd just like to share some of those things with you. So Essex, for any of you who are familiar with their marketing material, you'll probably be familiar with this. So home to the brave and the bold, to those who challenge why. Now, I believe in many places people have, they have marketing materials and you think, oh, that's nice, that's catchy. In Essex, we really, really experience this. The university don't want students to come in and just do things the way they should do them because that's the way they've always been done. They want people to be bold. They want people to challenge things. They want people to come up with their own ideas. And that's one of the great things about Essex, because we're teaching students not just to conform to norms, we're teaching students to change, to promote change, to do anything they can to challenge the norms so that we can think of bigger and better ways to do things. And I just think that's a fantastic aspect of the university. Next is the campus. So here you can see a very nice aerial view of the university campus. The campus is set on 40 acres of parkland. It's absolutely huge, and it's just outside the town of Colchester. But what's so great about the campus is everything is there. You would never actually have to leave the campus if you didn't want to. Of course, we want our students to get out and adventure and see the local area and travel around the country. But it's just such a great campus that they have every single thing you need. You've got doctors, you've got banks, post offices, grocery stores, sports facilities, every possible thing you need, it's there. It's a really, really great place to study, and a really well-designed, large but compact campus. Next, student support initiatives. So Essex has a number of really good initiatives to support the students. So one of the initiatives that I really like and really appreciate is called the Learner Engagement Analytics Project, or LEAP for short. So basically, this project looks at the students' level of engagement with their course. So it will look at things like lecture attendance. It will look at things like how often they log on to the VLE to access the course materials. It will look at how often they access recorded lectures. It will look at a number of different areas, and then each student will receive a rating based on their level of engagement. So there's one of 5 ratings that they will receive. If they have a lower rating, then their tutor will send them some recommendations of things that they can do to improve their engagement with the course. And the university has completed studies which clearly indicate higher engagement, much more successful students, lower engagement, less successful students. And of course, I think we all know that that's quite an obvious thing. But the great thing about it is that the university are constantly trying to take intervention measures to increase students' chance of success. They really do care about each and every student. We also have a number of programs for language learning for students at the university called Language for All, which means that every single student gets free access to 1 year of language classes. There's about 10 different languages they can choose from, and it's a really great additional benefit of being a student at Essex. I'd also like to share quite an odd one, but I think quite a nice one, is Pebbles the cat. So the University of Essex has a cat. It just arrived one day, and it stays there. All the students know it. Everyone feeds it, looks after it. And I mean, I think the thing that Pebbles the cat embodies is community. There's such a great sense of community for everyone to be caring about this one little cat. And it's often talked about, and it has its own merchandise, mugs, T-shirts, you name it. So and we hope you get the chance to come and visit Pebbles the cat at Essex in the future. The next thing I would like to talk about is the accommodation, because I know many of you will be interested in the accommodation options. So we typically have 3 accommodation options. However, one of those accommodation options we don't have here because it's only for our autumn term intakes. So the 2 accommodation options we have for the spring term intakes are both en suite. So this is the Meadows, which is about a 15-minute walk to the University of Essex International College. Very nice, very modern rooms. They all have en suite. This room currently goes for about £150 per week. But right on the edge of campus, so no need to pay for a great deal of transport. And then we also have the Keys, which is a little bit further away, probably about 18 minutes walk from the International College. Also en suite, also good-sized rooms, and also very modern. And this typically is about 150 to 160 per week. All of the accommodation that we have also have a shared living and kitchen area, so a great opportunity for students to engage with their flatmates. So some important dates. So for the two-term January 19 starts, our enrolment starts on the 7th of January and ends on the 28th of January. And teaching would start on the 14th of January. So we hope to have a few more students coming up to enrol by the time that comes around. We also have a four-term course starting in March, and that would be an enrolment date of 25th of February, with the enrolment ending on the 11th of March. And then we also have teaching starting on the 4th of March, so 1 week after the start of enrolment. And then a 3.5 term programme that starts in April, and that would be 8th of April start for enrolment, 15th of April for teaching, and enrolment ending on the 23rd of April. So important dates for you to keep in mind for students. We do offer some scholarships from the university, but these scholarships would not be for students who would be progressing from the university, the International College to the university until the 2021 intake, but there will be some market-specific scholarships available. So please speak to your market manager about that. Okay, and that concludes the presentation part of today. So now we would like to open up for some questions. Okay, so we have Elliot Lung asking, may I know what is VLE?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So the VLE is our virtual learning environment. So this is a website where students can access any teaching materials connected with their module. It allows teachers to share the materials that they use in class, but also any worksheets so that students can catch up if they can catch up after the class. And that's also where they'd access any pre-class materials. So it's basically a kind of central website where students can access all of the materials that they need for their course, and also find lots of key information about the college, like course dates, what to do if they're ill or going on holiday, and things like that.
Great, thanks, Adam. Okay, and then we have a question from, oh, sorry, it's just disappeared off the screen. We have a question from Mohammed. Can you please email the presentation to all participants? Yes, absolutely. We'll be emailing the presentation out to everyone by Monday of next week. And then from Karen. Yeah. What is the general entry requirement to progress to year one degree programs from the foundation?
So there's some progression routes that have different requirements, but the standard entry requirement for foundation is an academic average of 50 and a language requirement of 60 overall with no less than 55 in any one skill. And this is approximately equivalent to 6 at IELTS with no less than 5.5 in any skill.
So from Syed Shah, can you please explain how the scholarship works? Yes. So the scholarship that's on offer from the university for students who would be progressing in the 2020-2021 academic year, we have 6 total available. 3 are focused on foundation certificate students and 3 are focused on pre-masters students, and they're academic excellence scholarships. So the top 3 students in foundation certificate who achieve more than 70% academic average in their time at the International College would be eligible for £3,000 reduction from their tuition fees for the first year of university. The same would be for pre-master students, also 70% is the floor, so it would be the top 3 students there. So we have a question from Dahlia. What is the student's qualification to decide on 2 for 3.5 terms?
Yeah, so the entry requirements for the different program lengths typically are based on language level. So usually students coming into a 2-term course would be coming in with 5.5 overall. On a 3-term course, it would be usually 5 overall, and a longer course, so 3.5 or 4 terms would be 4.5 IELTS. Those are the kind of typical levels that we'd be looking at.
Okay, all right. So there are a few questions on here that we don't have some of the information to hand. But what we'll do is, if you've asked a question and it's not been answered, we'll make sure that you get that information through your marketing manager. So I'd like to thank you all again for joining today. It's been a great pleasure to be able to share a little bit more about the University of Essex International College with each of you. And if you do have any further questions that you didn't think of right now, but you'd like to know more about, please get in touch with your market manager and they'll be happy to help you. So again, thanks for joining, and this presentation will be sent out to everyone by Monday of next week.